Time now for Cavalier Between Games, featuring today's episode of The Life of the Umpire, followed by other Between Games entertainment. That's all leading up to Game 2 of today's Cavalier doubleheader.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
The Life of the Umpire.
From an ode to the umpire by Cliff Eastham. An umpire's life is not that fun, spending 4 hours in the dry hot sun, making calls that half dislike, telling rowdy managers to take a hike.
And now, today's episode of The Life of the Umpire.
Once again, we're at the Goat Coffee House on Water Street talking with Chippewa River League's Director of Umpires, Teddy Joas, and this is the third episode in the series, The Life of the Umpire, where we're going to examine what it's like to be a baseball umpire in the CRBL, or any other baseball league for that matter. Teddy, in the last episode, we established that you've been umpiring for quite a few years, and over that time, you must have witnessed some plays that required some unusual interpretations of the rules. Can you interpret or explain any of those to us where there have been some unusual ones?
Yeah, one comes to mind. Was umpiring the Ohio Valley Regional for, this isn't in the CRBL, but it was up Mount Simon a couple years ago, and another misinterpreted rule here. This is going to be, I'll try to shorten this up here as quick as I can, but I believe if I remember right, there's runners on first and had to have been second, third, or I think second, third, and the infield was playing in, and for some reason the kid on second or something was running on the pitch, and the ground ball was hit, went under the third baseman's legs and hit the runner, and the runner ended up, not purposely, but because he was running, kicked the ball out in foul territory.
And this is the runner coming from second?
Second to third.
Okay.
So he's running, goes under the third baseman's legs, hits the kid's foot, and it, then ricochets out in the foul territory in left field. And of course, there's everyone yelling that the runner's out, and
which he is, right?
He's not.
Hit by a ball? No,
he's not, and I'll explain that. And,
okay.
And so the interesting...
I would have been one of those.
The interesting thing is, you learn as an umpire sometime to just let things play out, because you can always go back and correct and move people back. That's a lot easier than moving people
awarding
forward.
Bases. Yeah.
Correct. So you always let it play out, and then you can always come together and talk with your fellow umpire. Well, a buddy of mine and I were doing that game, and we were both pretty positive, but we weren't 100%. So we let it play out, and the run scored, and of course then time was called, and the manager comes out of the defending team, the team on the field, and we explained to him that because your infielder had a play on the ball, and we actually believe it hit his glove, which is a whole other thing, which we'll add to this, but we don't think it did, but because he had a play on the ball, and then it went past him, and then hit the runner.
Oh, okay.
That's a live ball now, so the runner's not out. Now, if that fielder would have been behind the runner,
then the runner would have been out.
Then he's out, because now you're going back to the thing we talked about in an episode previously about interference and stuff like that. But so because and we judged that the ball hitting him going to the left field accidental, because he didn't wind up his leg like he was playing kickball and punted it. He just kind of hit his foot and bounced. We let the play on. Well, we had a protest right away. Managers came out. We had to get the tournament director out, and lo and behold, we found it in the rule book somehow, because those rule books are a half-inch thick, and usually finding that and when you need to is really hard. My buddy just randomly, and we joke about it to this day, I just flipped the page and there it was, and showed him. And but yeah, those are some weird like obscure rule that's different. And to be honest with you, now I'm 100% confident on that rule. Before it happened, I'd say I was probably about 70%, because you read these different scenarios and that they send you in what we call these case books, but usually when you read those, you think, well, that's never going to happen.
About the time you think that is when it does.
When it does, yeah.
In fact, last season, my broadcast partner Dan and our computer operator Ann, who's actually running the camera for us today, were kind of tongue-in-cheek talking about some what-ifs, and these might actually put an umpire to the test. The best known was while watching the Carson Park Ospreys deliver food to their chicks in the nest over the center field fence. Dan questioned what would happen if one of the Ospreys were to grab a routine pop-up in its talons and deposit it over the outfield fence.
That's a good one.
And okay, you're at a Cavs game and the Osprey swoops in, grabs a pop-up, and drops it over the center field fence. What are you calling it?
Well, this is where the fans go nuts and the players go nuts, and one of the managers is going to go nuts. That's actually a really good question. I think back to the Randy Johnson incident, which I don't know how many of the listeners remember that, but
that was in Toronto, wasn't it? I think.
But I just remember him throwing a 90-some-mile-an-hour fastball and kind of blew up that pigeon, I believe it was, on the ball's way to home, and I believe they called that like a no pitch.
Sure.
Now, I guess I would consider that somewhat of the same as the Osprey taking the ball, because I would probably rule that a no pitch, no hit, kind of call it a redo, but I guess it'd be a redo. I'm not 100% sure if that's 100% accurate, but that's what I would call.
I think another argument could be made there on the other side, that if it's an act of nature, like if the wind were to have blown that ball over the center field fence, we saw that in a Cavalier game up in Bloomer last year, relatively routine fly ball, but the wind was blowing like crazy up there, and it blew the ball over the right field fence, and round trip.
Yeah.
So I would say an Osprey is an act of nature, and that could easily be classified as a home run.
Yeah, it's definitely a fair comment and statement. One thing we get with rule books, the NHFS sends them out. They not only send out a rule book, they send out a case book. And the case book is filled with different cases of kind of obscure things that have happened, like you just mentioned. And, again, you sit and go through those, and half of them you think, well, this would never happen, but truthfully they all have happened, and that's why they're in the case book. So that's probably one you'd have to dig in there and find out if something like that happened or something similar has happened.
Okay, now situations like that can bring a chuckle to us to some degree, and reminds me that you can't anticipate everything. For example, years ago, Dave Kingman hit a pop-up against the Minnesota Twins at the Metrodome that went through one of the ventilation holes in the roof of the dome. And ESPN related the story as such. This is what ESPN said. Confusion fell upon the field as the umpires didn't know how to rule the play. Twins shortstop Houston Jimenez covered his head like Chicken Little, and first baseman Mickey Hatcher stole an umpire's ball, slammed it against the ground, and tagged Kingman out. But they didn't go for that, Hatcher said. Finally, the umpires ruled it a ground rule double.
Oh, interesting.
Now,
I do remember that. But.
When an unpredictable play like that occurs, how much latitude do the umpires have? How do you solve that?
Yeah, usually that's when you kind of come together as umpires and usually talk it through and come up with what you feel is the best outcome of that scenario. Unfortunately, there's probably going to be times umpires are wrong.
Sure.
But again...
And hopefully somebody has a case book in their pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, because ultimately, umpires are asked or tasked to, like any official in any sport, you're making split-second decisions on the fly. Now, some of those obscure ones like that, you get a couple minutes to come together and have a discussion, but again, sometimes in those pressure moments, you don't always think the clearest, but you usually try to put it together the best you can.
Well, thank you, Teddy, for joining us today on The Life of the Umpire, recorded at the Goat Coffee House on Water Street. We do have more topics that we're going to talk about, and we'll get to those on future episodes of The Life of the Umpire. Our next episode will be between games of the next Cavalier doubleheader. I'm Rick Olson. Stay tuned as our coverage of Game 2 of today's Cavalier doubleheader is coming right up.
This has been today's episode of The Life of the Umpire.
From Ode to the Ump by Barbara Gorlick. Watch him there behind the plate, the guy referred to as Blue. Hey Blue, you must be blind. How could you call that ball strike 2? He takes the ribbing all in stride. Been doing this for many years. Loves the game, the fans, the kids. Lots of fun, and yes, sometimes tears. Too soon the season will be over and done. But next year the kids will come to play. The ump will smile and call batter up. He'll be having fun, just like he is today.
Stay tuned. Coming up in just a few minutes will be Game 2 of today's doubleheader on NLWN-TV.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
You've been tuned to Cavalier Between Games. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Game 2 of today's Cavalier doubleheader.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Eau Claire Cavalier baseball is on the air.
Fly ball out into center field. It's hit hard. It's hit long, and it's gone! A home run for Cole Hyman!
NLWN-TV proudly presents today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us while we follow the Cavaliers as they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Fly ball out into right field. This one's tagged, and it's out of here! Into the fan deck, a 2-run home run by Gabe O'Brien.
And now, out to the ballpark for Eau Claire Cavalier baseball.
And welcome back to Carson Park as we're getting ready for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Game 1 ended up with a Cavalier walk-off victory, 3-2, as Carson Windeshausen laced a shot into left field, scoring Erickson and then Bemnister as the Cavaliers came from behind to win Game 1. Andrew Milner got the win and extended his record to 5-1, and it's really appropriate that the Cavaliers came through and won that game because Milner had not allowed an earned run and basically just threw a heck of a ball game. So we're going to get ready for Game 2, and starting lineups for that, we'll start with the visiting Bloomer Woodticks. Leading off will be center fielder Ethan Rothbauer. Connor Hicks, the extra hitter, is batting second. Batting third and shortstop Jackson Simmons. Batting fourth, the third baseman Cole Schwab. Batting fifth, playing second base Connor Cranes. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, the losing pitcher from Game 1, Patrick Callahan. Batting seventh, the first baseman Connor Hicks. Batting eighth, the right fielder Marcus Harlstead. Batting ninth, the left fielder Nolan Wysocki. And batting 10th and catching Cameron Martsky. Nolan Nolan Martsky is making his first start on the mound for the Woodticks. For the Cavaliers, leading off, the shortstop is Caden Erickson. Batting second at third base, Xavier Bemnister. Batting third out in right field is Cade Mueller. Batting fourth behind the plate is Sam Knickerbocker. Batting fifth at second base, Cody Dayton. Batting sixth at first base, Carson Windeshausen. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Trenton Palmer. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Brayton Tillman. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, Ashton Kroll. And batting 10th, the extra hitter, Dalton Steele. On the mound for the Cavaliers is Cooper Dykes. He has a 1-0 record with a 4.70 earned run average. As the Cavaliers will try to get out the brooms and sweep the doubleheader this afternoon. As the Cavaliers have taken the field, and we'll be back with first pitch of Game 2 right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Monday, July 1st, as the Cavaliers take on the Menominee Eagles from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 6 p.m., followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Monday, July 1st on NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at Carson Park. As we're getting closer and closer, umpires for game 2 now behind the plate will be Dan Hoffman, and out on the bases will be Teddy Joas. Teddy Joas had a relatively generous strike zone. We'll see if Dan Hoffman is the same way.
Yeah, all that zone was right in that TV box that we all see on when you watch major leagues, and some umpires, they kind of like will pick a area of that zone, but last game it was everywhere, within that zone. It wasn't anything that any of the pitchers threw that was
I was
out
going
of
to
the
say,
zone.
I didn't see anything called a strike that didn't look like it was a strike.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I didn't see anything called a ball that looked like it should have been a strike.
Yeah, both pitchers, did a really good job of getting their spots that they wanted, and just coming down to the end.
So here we go in game 2. Ethan Rothbauer leading things off for the Cavaliers, or for the Woodticks. The first pitch was fouled back. Cooper Dykes on the mound, and here's the pitch. Fly ball out into left field, heading back, reaching up, and making the catch is Tillman. That's going to bring up Connor Hicks, the extra hitter. Hicks went 1 for 3 in game 1. Cavaliers defensively, Knickerbocker behind the plate. Bemnister at third, Erickson at short. Dayton is at second. Windishausen's at first. Tillman, Palmer, and Mueller left to right. Foul back into the screen. 0-1 is the count to Connor Hicks. Hicks wheels and fires. Is outside for a ball. One ball and one strike. And that's a strike called on the outside corner. Well, that was similar to the strike zone we had in game 1.
Yeah, painting the outside corner there.
And foul tipped at the plate. Count holds at 1-2. And
must have been just a hair inside.
It must have been.
Froze the batter, though.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That'll bring up Jackson Simmons, the shortstop.
At third, 6, the shortstop, number 7, Jackson Simmons.
And there's a strike on the inside corner. Looked like a little bit of break on that ball. Was coming inside and then broke over the inside corner of the plate. And there it is again. Same spot. Simmons doesn't like that pitch.
Yeah, if you're a batter, it looks like it's coming right at your head.
And here's the pitch. That one's fouled away over the backstop of the press box.
Yes, celebrate.
Count remains 0-2. And the pitch. That one's outside. Dykes delivers. That one's fouled back out of play.
Then I'll let you know as if you have one. Toward the movies, guys.
One ball and two strikes. Swing and a miss. Ball gets dropped and the runner gets tagged out. So for the Woodticks in the top of the first, no runs on, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played a half inning, and it's the Woodticks nothing. Cavaliers coming to bat on NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
We're back here at Carson Park, getting ready to go into the bottom of the first inning. Due up for the Cavaliers, Caden Erickson, Xavier Bemnister, and Cade Mueller. Defensively for the Bloomer Woodticks, that's Connor Martziki behind the plate. Schwab is at third, Simmons at short, Crane is at second, Hicks at first. Wysocki out in left field, Rothbauer in center, Harlstad in right, and Nolan Martziki is on the mound. So I'm assuming this is brother to brother playing catch in the backyard.
Yeah, which always could be a dangerous combination.
Yeah, those sometimes ended up in fisticuffs. I didn't have any brothers, but I had two sons, and I've seen plenty of that happen. More often when they were playing football against each other out in the backyard.
Yeah, and then they're both right?
Absolutely. What do you mean holding? I was tackling you. Stepping up to the plate is Caden Erickson. He went 0 for 3 in game one. He did manage to get on base a couple times via errors by the shortstop. As we said earlier, Nolan Martziki, according to our records, making his first start for the Woodticks. And the first pitch, Erickson squares to bunt. He puts it down the third baseline, and he beats it to first. That's a bunt single by Caden Erickson. So that's going to bring up Xavier Bemnister, who went 0 for 2 in game one. And Bemnister watches the first one for a strike. No balls, one strike. Erickson on first. He takes his lead. Erickson's going, throw down to second, and they got him.
Yeah, he tried to sneak under it.
That was a nice tag that time by Crane, because Crane had to go up to get the ball, but he got it down as Erickson was going under and got the tag on him. So now there's one out with nobody on. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike called. A ball and two strikes. Martzicki works from the windup. And he delivers. That's high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch fouled back into the net. Two balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung a foul, tipped into the glove. So Bemnister goes down swinging. That's going to bring up Cade Mueller. Mueller went 1 for 3 in game 1. He singled to left to load the bases for the Cavs, setting it up for Windeshausen's walk-off single. There's a fly ball out into center field. Coming in is Rothbauer. He's under it. He makes a catch. So the Cavs go 1-2-3 with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 1. And we have no score from Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my 3rd child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Into the top of the 2nd inning, leading off for the Bloomer Woodticks is Cole Schwab. And there is a pitch high. And there's a strike called. That one's chopped out of play. And that pitch is low. I've got a correction to make. It's Schwab on the mound for the Woodticks. And Nolan Martzicki is playing 3rd base. And that one missed inside. It goes to 3-2 to Schwab. There's a ground ball over to short. Erickson picks it up, fires to first, and got him. That's going to bring Connor Crane.
Yeah. Number 13 is second baseman Connor Crane.
So, Rick.
Yes.
I was down in the Bloomer Tick bullpen, or down in the dugout, right?
Sure. Swing and a miss for strike one to Connor Crane.
And remember we were talking about goofy hops in the field?
Mm-hmm.
They said they could actually see the water on the grass.
I believe it. There was a lot of water out there. There's a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Connor Crane went 0 for 1 in game 1.
So we'll see if it dries out here in this game 2.
There's a ground ball, and it gets through. It missed Bemnister, missed Erickson, and got through to left field. That's going to be a base hit.
Six.
So that's going to bring up Patrick Callahan. The designated hitter went 1 for 3. And the first pitch is a strike. That one just missed inside. By the way, Cole Schwab for the Woodticks has a 0.00 earned run average. Throw over to first is back in time is Crane. But part of the reason he's got that low earned run average, he's only thrown an inning and 2/3. That pitch missed outside. 2 balls and a strike to Patrick Callahan. There's the pitch. That's outside. 3-1. A hitter's pitch now to Callahan. He's the leading hitter for the Woodticks. Came into today batting .455. There's a soft ground ball over to second, throw to first, and they got him. That moved Crane over to second, and it's going to bring up Connor Hicks with 2 down.
100.
And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Fly ball out into center field. Check that. Circling under it is Palmer, and he makes the catch. At any rate, there are no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played an inning and a half, and no score from Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Yeah, I think one of the things us veterans are hoping for is soon the cabin will be built.
It's going to be amazing to be able to come to a place like this and stay at a cabin with amazing people, animals, a view, and get away from it all.
Country Haven Farms is fundraising to complete our cabin, giving Wisconsin veterans and their families a much-needed escape in the Northwoods. Donations of any amount are encouraged, and sponsorships are available at all levels. To make a donation or sponsorship, please visit our website or give us a call.
We're going to head into the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Cavaliers, Sam Knickerbocker, Cody Dayton, and Carson Windeshausen. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I suspect, and I don't have them very far from me, but as Sam Knickerbocker comes to the plate, I think he's probably leading the Cavaliers in hit by pitch. Coming into today, he's been hit by the pitch 5 times, and he got one in game 1. So that's 6 times so far this season.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times in our career. But
and that skipped off the dirt. It was way inside. It kind of looked like it might have got Knickerbocker's knee, but it didn't.
Yeah, there's always one guy per year that ends up on the Cavs that get hit by pitch.
And a hard shot ground ball picked up at second and throw over to first is in time. That was Crane over to Hicks. And Knickerbocker goes down 4-3. Cody Dayton coming to the plate. He did not play in game 1. Comes into today batting .286. That pitch is high for a ball. Here's the wind in the pitch. Ball 2 up high. Those aren't missing high by much, but they're a little above the letters. Schwab shakes off a sign. Now he starts his motion. There's a strike on the outside corner. Cole Schwab played first base in the first game. Now he's on the mound. And the 2-1 pitch. That's inside. A hitter's pitch coming here for Cody Dayton. And the pitch. And ball 4. Dayton draws the walk. That's going to bring up Carson Windeshausen, hero of game 1, with the walk-off base hit that drove in 2 runs.
Baseman Carson Windeshausen.
Here's the first pitch. He squares to bunt. It takes for a ball. Dayton takes the lead at first. And the pitch. Windeshausen shows bunt again. This one over the inside corner for a called strike. A ball and a strike with 1 out. And the pitch. That's inside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. That's called strike over the inside corner. Windeshausen didn't agree with that, but that's what Dan Hoffman said, so that's what it is. Counts even at 2-2. Dayton with a lead at first. Schwab delivers. That was high and tight. The count is now full.
Yeah, I would watch for something down and away.
And the pitch. That's high for ball 4. Windeshausen draws the walk. That's 2 consecutive walks given up by Schwab. It's going to bring up Trenton Palmer. Cavs have runners at first and second. Cody Dayton's at second. Carson Windeshausen at first. Trenton Palmer at the plate. Palmer went 1 for 3 in game 1. And there's a strike called. And the pitch. Ground ball over to short, flip to second for 1, and there's no play at first. So Palmer's on a fielder's choice. Windeshausen is out at second. And it does move Cody Dayton over to third. So the Cavs have runners on the corners with Brayton Tillman coming to the plate. Tillman went 0 for 2 in game 1. Schwab at the belt, and he delivers. There's a strike on the outside corner. And the pitch. Strike called. That must have caught that front corner. No balls, 2 strikes to Brayton Tillman. Outfield playing straight away. That's down low for a ball. And the pitch, runner goes. Ground ball back to the mound. Schwab in a foot race, flips it. No, he kept it himself. So Tillman grounds out to the pitcher unassisted. And the Cavaliers go down with no runs on no hits. There were no errors and 2 were left on base. So we have played 2 innings, and it's still 0-0 here at Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on June 29th, when the Phoenix will travel to Paul Giel Field in Winona, Minnesota to face the River City Rough Riders. Follow the Phoenix as they battle their way through the Northern Lights Football League on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on June 20th.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas. You know it's true. Mom, we love you always. Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
As we head into the top of the 3rd inning, expected at the plate for the Bloomer Woodticks are Marcus Harlstead, Nolan Wysocki, and Cameron Martsky. And this is Marcus Harlstead stepping up. He went 0 for 1 in game 1. We have a real nice crowd here at Carson Park today. That's probably the most full I've seen the grandstand at a Cavs game this year, and it's pretty full. And he shows bunt offers, and I think he bunted it foul. Right down off the plate. No balls and a strike. Cooper Dykes on the mound. That pitch is inside for a ball.
The friend says, take that one.
And he shows bunt, and he popped it up and caught by Bemnister. So he popped the bunt up, which is part of the reason why, if you think a guy is bunting, you keep the pitch up in the zone. So Nolan Wysocki, he went 0 for 1 in game 1 on the first pitch. Was a ball. Swing and a miss. Counts even at 1-1. Dykes delivers. Line shot grounder out to second and throw over to first Dayton to Windeshausen for the out. That's going to bring Cameron Martsky, the catcher. And he hits a soft one out to Erickson at short. And that'll do it for the Woodticks in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 2.5 and still scoreless at Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Hi. I'm your retirement fear. But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks.
Move.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
You got this.
Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan.
Going into the bottom of the third inning, leading off for the Cavaliers, well, we'll be at almost the top of the order. Ashton Kroll did not play in game 1, and Dalton Steele will follow him. Then we'll be back to the top of the order with Caden Erickson. Woodticks, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Cavaliers, no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Ashton Kroll coming to the plate. Did not play in game 1, but he has a batting average coming into today of .211. Kroll, the designated hitter, and that pitch is high. And that was high and behind the helmet. Kroll is 4 for 19. Scored a couple runs. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. He got a piece of it. So it's not a complete miss, but nonetheless, it's a strike. And the pitch, that's outside. Three balls and one strike. Schwab shook off one sign and comes with another one. Check swing, fouled. Count goes to 3-2. Schwab steps up to the rubber. He likes that sign. And delivers. Foul back, out of play. Count remains full. Here's the wind and the pitch. High pop foul. That's going to be out of play. Bounced off the handicapped ramp. Ashton Kroll at the plate. Still a full count to him. And another pop foul. Kroll is battling. Outfield playing him straight away. And the pitch. Pop foul into the bleachers. So again, it's 3-2. Schwab winds and fires. And it's high, ball 4. Ashton Kroll wins that battle. That's going to bring up the extra hitter, Dalton Steele. And Steele did not play in game 1, but comes into this game with a .222 batting average. He's 2 for 9 with 2 runs scored. There's a strike called on the inside corner. If nothing else, what Kroll did on that at bat is he made Schwab throw a lot of pitches. And this pitch is outside for a ball. Now it's even at 1-1. Schwab checks first and now delivers. And it's fouled back into the net.
Yeah, so far what I'm seeing from this picture is kind of something middle inside.
And pretty much all fastballs.
Yeah, players have been getting jammed inside or ducking or maybe where you kind of back out of the box just a little bit.
Check swing, strike called on the outside corner. So Dalton Steele goes down looking. Back to the top of the order, Caden Erickson. Erickson has the only Cavalier hit today, or in this game, and that was a bunt single. Here's the pitch. It's outside. He gets away from the catcher down to second, and that's going to put Kroll on second. That pitch was pretty wide, so we'll call it a wild pitch. Catcher couldn't come away with it cleanly. So Kroll on second, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Erickson. There's a strike at the letters. Kroll takes his lead at second. And the pitch. Ground ball foul and missed by Ryan Bemnister. And a shortage of baseballs out there. Hey, get a couple out to the umpire. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Caden Erickson. Schwab's pitch. That's high. Ashton Kroll with a fairly routine lead at second. Here's the pitch. And a hard ground ball right up the middle into center field. Kroll rounds third. He's coming in to score. Erickson stays at first, but it's an RBI single for Caden Erickson. That'll bring up Xavier Bemnister as the Cavaliers have taken a lead. Bemnister struck out his first time up. Check swing high. It's a ball. One out. Erickson's on first. 1 run in. Throw over to first. Erickson's back. They are aware that Erickson does like to run. Here's the pitch, and that got Bemnister in the side. That's the second time he's been hit by the pitch today. That gives him 5 on the season. So Erickson is at second, Bemnister at first, Cade Mueller at the plate. He flew out to center field his first time up today in the game 2. Pitch is inside for a ball. Schwab at the belt. Checks second. Now he delivers. That's outside. Ball 2. Cole Schwab throwing an awful lot of pitches in the 3rd inning. And the pitch. Strike called. Mueller knew it. He checked the swing and then saw it go right over the plate. And the pitch. Ground ball to third. Steps on third. Throws over to first in time. So Mueller grounds into a 5 unassisted to 3 double play. But the Cavaliers do pick up 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors, and there was 1 left on base. So we've played 3, and it's the Cavaliers 1 and the Bloomer Woodticks nothing on NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Zero eight number. Again, those numbers is 40 0 640 174 640 145.
And they're giving away a lot of prizes today at Auto Vision Center and Lutheran Social Services Day at the ballpark. Like I said, we have a really nice crowd down in the grandstand. After all the rain we've had the last few days, a nice sunshiny day like this, who can blame people for getting out here to the ballpark to watch a little baseball on a sun-splashed field? Bloomer Woodticks at the top of the order, Ethan Rothbauer to get things started. He flew out to left field his first time up, and he has to duck out of the way of that one for ball 1. He'll be followed by Connor Hicks and Jackson Simmons. Cooper Dykes on the mound, starting his 4th inning. That one missed outside. And the pitch, swung on a miss, strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. Rothbauer wanted that one, and Dykes denied him. And the 2-1 pitch. There's a fly ball out into left center field. Palmer moves back and makes the catch. It's going to bring up Connor Hicks, who struck out his first time up.
That's the hitter. Sweeter.
There's a strike at the letters. It was on the inside third to Corey Poyer. There's a ground ball foul down the third base line. Heading down to retrieve it is Tyson Woodcock. And the pitch. Ground ball right back. There you go, Tyson. Get that one. Although Josh Garcia is kind of heading down to get it. Now they're going to race for it. No balls, 2 strikes to Connor Hicks. That one's in the dirt outside. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner. Hicks didn't like that call, and you know what, Dan? I think Hicks might have had a case on that one. That's the first pitch today that it was a called strike that I question a little.
Yeah, everything's been kind of down corners, and this one was outside high, probably letter high, but we haven't seen a pitch on the outside high, but
not today. That first pitch is a ball to Jackson Simmons, who struck out his first time up, and this one's laced foul off the right side.
That's my first.
Yeah, like we always say, in double headers, both umpires will do it just a little different. You just got to figure it out.
Yes, you do. That one missed high. It's like we've said how many times, Dan? What's the strike zone?
Wherever they say it is.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter if you're a pitcher or the batter.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. To Jackson Simmons. And the pitch. Fly ball to center field. Palmer circling under it. Makes the catch for out number 3. So for the Woodticks, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and we have played 3.5. And it's the Cavaliers 1, Woodticks nothing on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Monday, July 1st, as the Cavaliers take on the Menominee Eagles from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 6 p.m., followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Monday, July 1st on NLWN-TV.
We're back here at Carson Park, getting ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. Cavaliers would like to add to their 1-0 lead. Due up for the Cavaliers this half inning are Sam Knickerbocker, Cody Dayton, and Carson Windeshausen. Knickerbocker is a little bit overdue for a base hit. Went 0 for 2 in game 1. He grounded to second here in game 2. And he'll be stepping up in just a moment. Sam Knickerbocker is kind of a rare breed for the Cavaliers. He's a left-handed catcher, if anybody hadn't noticed that prior.
Yeah, and that works out if you're thrown down to first.
Sure does. Here's the pitch. Check swing, strike called. Schwab looks for the sign, starts his motion, and a strike called on the outside corner. Knickerbocker didn't like that call too much. Schwab shakes that one off. Here's the pitch. Line shot out into right field. Good solid base hit with that one. And Knickerbocker checks in at first. Let's see who our courtesy runner, if we have one. And we do. Jackson Vance is going to go out and courtesy run for Knickerbocker. That'll bring up Cody Dayton. Dayton walked his last appearance. And the pitch. Fouled back into the net. It's Auto Vision Center Day today here at Carson Park. Auto Vision Center is one of the sponsors on the new Cavalier uniforms. Throw down to first, and Jackson Vance is back in safely. No balls and 2 strikes. To Cody Dayton. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Carson Windishausen is on deck. Nobody out. Jackson Vance on first. Schwab at the belt. The 1-2 pitch. Runner goes. Line shot. Caught by the shortstop, and they're going to throw it over to first and double Vance off. And the Woodticks thought that was 3 outs, but it was only 2. That's going to bring Windishausen to the plate. Yeah, they all start walking off the field. 2 down. And there's a strike on the inside corner. Schwab's pitch on the inside edge is deceiving these hitters. They're backing out on that. And it is catching the corner. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a grounder over to short. Picked up, throw over to first, and they got him. So the Cavaliers go down with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We have played 4 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 1 and the Woodticks nothing on NLWN-TV.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
So we've got another nail biter going on here as we head to the 5th inning. Cavaliers on top, 1-0, and in the top of the fifth, due up for the Bloomer Woodticks. Pitcher Cole Schwab, Connor Crane, and Patrick Callahan. Schwab grounded out to short his first time up today, or in this game. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. Cooper Dykes starting his fifth inning of work. There's another strike on the outside corner.
Looks like number 12 for the Cavs.
Tyson Woodcock heading down to the bullpen. That pitch is outside.
Could be 5 also, but probably 12.
Yeah, the way they're set up, that's Woodcock warming up. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's strikeout number 4 for Cooper Dykes. Going to bring up Connor Crane. He singled to left his last appearance. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 1. And the pitch. Strike called. No balls, 2 strikes. Dykes delivers. That's outside. That was actually a pretty good chase pitch that time. Because if he did make contact, he wasn't going to do anything with it. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Palmer racing over, and he's got it. Palmer tends to make that look so easy out there, Dan.
Yeah, he can cover ground.
He's got real good range. Cavaliers are very fortunate. They have 2 prime center fielders, and they would stack up. Either one of them would stack up against anybody else in the league. Patrick Callahan at the plate. And I think that got him.
He's saying it got him in the foot.
And they appeal down to first, and Teddy Joas down to first says, no, he's safe. In other words, it didn't get him.
Yeah, I wonder if it skipped in. It hit him, but it hit the ground first.
So it's a ball and no strikes. That one's inside, ball 2. Fastball just missed. Two balls, no strikes. There's a chopper down to first base. Windeshausen takes it himself. And that'll do it for the Woodticks. With no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And we've played 4.5. Cavaliers 1, Bloomer nothing on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole.
Well, we're back here at Carson Park. Anne's getting twitchy fingers over there. It's been Well, game and a half so far, so that's understandable. I don't believe there's any changes out there for the Woodticks. Due up for the Cavaliers in the bottom half of the fifth inning are Trenton Palmer, Brayton Tillman, and Ashton Kroll. Trenton Palmer grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. And the first pitch from Schwab swung on a miss for a strike. Schwab looks in. He likes that sign. Winds and fires. That's high and tight for a ball. Sure. 1 ball and 1 strike. That one's high and away. 2-1's the count. And the pitch. Foul tip back off the chest protector. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Cavs are up by a run. Schwab looking in. He winds and the 2-2 pitch. That's high and away. Here's the wind. And the payoff pitch swung on a miss for strike 3, and he knew he chased a high one. Brayton Tillman coming up. He grounded right back to the pitcher who took it unassisted to first. And the pitch. That's high and away. Here's the pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Brayton Tillman at the plate. And that one missed outside. And outside again, ball 3. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's high for ball 4. So Tillman draws his walk. That's the 4th walk given up by Schwab. Ashton Kroll at the plate. He walked his last time up, scored the Cavaliers' only run. That pitch is outside for a ball. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, that's out into left field. Roaming around and making the catch out there is Wysocki. And having to head back to first is Tillman. That's going to bring up Dalton Steele with 2 down. And Steele went down looking his last time up. And the pitch. There's a foul ball over into the fan deck area on the right side. And the pitch runner goes. Pitch was inside for a ball, and in safely is Tillman. A ball and a strike now to Dalton Steele. Schwab delivers. That's high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Schwab looking in. 2-1 pitch. Strike called. Counts even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down. Runner on second. Cole Schwab shakes off a couple signs. There's one he likes. And he delivers. High bouncer over to first. Taken there by Hicks, and he goes and steps on the bag for the 3rd out. So the Cavaliers pick up no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. And we have now played 5 innings, and it's still 1-0 Cavaliers on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Hi. I'm your retirement fear. But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks.
Ooh.
This isn't scary.
Well, we head into the top of the 6th inning. New second baseman for the Cavaliers, Jackson Vance, is in there. And leading off is Connor Hicks for the Woodticks. Swing and a miss for strike one. As Cooper Dykes starts his 6th inning of work. That pitch is outside for a ball. And the pitch. That's high and away for a ball. And there's a ground ball foul down the third base line. And the pitch. Swung on a missed. Strike three. Or check that. That's strike two. Two balls, two strikes. And there's a soft liner out into left field that's going to fall in for a base hit. Tillman couldn't get there. And Connor Hicks is on with a single. That is the second hit of the game for the Woodticks. It's bringing up Marcus Harlstead. He tried to bunt his last time up. Throw over to first. Hicks is back. We also have a substitution over at third base. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss for a strike. Eli Rathke is now at third, replacing Xavier Bemnister. And another swing and miss. And a soft little fly ball, and it's going to fall fair. Almost doesn't even qualify as a Texas leaguer. It was just over the outstretched arms of Windeshausen.
No.
So now we have Hicks at second, Harlstead at first, Nolan Wysocki at the plate. And the pitch, fly ball right field, foul. Nolan Wysocki grounded to second his last time up. Cavs up by a run, but the tying run's on second for the Woodticks. Here's the pitch. That's outside for a ball. There's a ground ball foul down the first base line. And the pitch. Chopper foul again down the first base line. Counts even at 2-2. 2 runners on, nobody out. Swing and a miss for strike three. Threw the fastball right past him. That's going to bring up Cameron Martsky.
Right catcher, Cam Marcy.
Martsky popped out too short his last time up. Caden Erickson just ranged over behind second base and caught it. There's a strike on the outside corner. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike two. He might have got a piece of it. No balls and 2 strikes to Martsky. Here's the pitch. Pop up. And taking the ball is Cameron Dykes. Or Cooper Dykes. A little bit of a traffic jam there. But Dykes caught it. So 2 down, 2 on, and back to the top of the order, Ethan Rothbauer, who is 0 for 2. In fact, he's 0 for 4 on the day. And there's a high pop-up. Windeshausen circling under it, foul territory, and he makes the catch. So the Woodticks pick up. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. 2 were left on base. We've played 5.5, and it's the Cavaliers 1, Woodticks nothing on NLWN-TV.
Ready for a better way to bank? Switch to Royal Credit Union. Royal Credit Union is a financial co-op, not a corporation, so we return earnings to our members. That means you get low or no fees for account services and better rates on deposits and loans. You'll also have all the digital tools you need at your fingertips, so managing your account is easy. Royal is ready to help you discover the credit union difference. Switch to Royal Credit Union today at rcu.org/difference. Insured by NCUA.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on June 29th, when the Phoenix will travel to Paul Giel Field in Winona, Minnesota to face the River City Rough Riders. Follow the Phoenix as they battle their way through the Northern Lights Football League on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on June 20th.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
And we're going to get ready for the bottom of the 6th inning. Cavaliers would sure like to get some insurance runs. Dan, you were saying, because we got a barn burner going on here with the Cavaliers ahead 1-0. And what was your comment that you said? Somebody's...
Oh, I can't remember, but I said, yeah, I'm not... I'd rather have a blowout than have these close ones.
Yeah, you said something like somebody's going to blink here.
Yeah, oh yeah, somebody's going to blink. You know, I thought it might be right there, and with Woodticks up to bat, you know, they had 2 on, and
2 on with nobody out.
Yeah, and they were hitting the ball. Well, they were foul balls, but they were hitting, and good job for the Cavs to get out of that one.
So, leading off for the Cavaliers, we're back at the top of the order, Caden Erickson. He's 2 for 2 in this game. 2 for 5 for the day. And that pitch is inside for a ball. He'll be followed by Eli Rathke and then Cade Mueller. That pitch is outside for a ball.
But Schwab's still right in this one.
2 balls, no strikes. And we have 2 balls, no strikes with 1 out. Erickson at first. And the pitch. That's outside, ball 3. But I missed the last strike. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike with Erickson. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 6th. And the 3-1 pitch. Ground ball foul down the third base line. And the pitch. Ground ball stabbed by Schwab on the mound. Throw over to first and in time.
Good listening. By Brady.
So Eli Rathke looks at a called strike. Comes into the game batting .083. He's replacing Xavier Bemnister over at third base. And the pitch. That's outside. And the pitch. Ground ball. A short deep in the hole, and he's going to beat it out. That's going to be an infield hit for Eli Rathke.
Yeah, that was a tough throw.
He put it right in the deepest part of the hole for Simmons to go get it over at short, and he got his glove on it and made as good a throw as he could. It just wasn't going to be enough to get Rathke going to first. Brings up Cade Mueller. Mueller flew out to center field and then hit into a double play. Third base unassisted, throw over to first for the double play. His last time up. And there's a pop-up out into center field. Moving over is Rothbauer, and he makes the catch. That's going to bring up Sam Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker's 1 for 2 in game 2. By the way, we have a final score in game 2. It was the Eau Claire Bears 3, Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks 2. That's in game 2. So the Bears sweep the Lumberjacks. There's a strike called. Cavaliers trying to do the same. And the 0-1 pitch, it's high and away for a ball. Knickerbocker 1 for 4 on the day. And the pitch. Ground ball, broke his bat. Over to second, flipped to first in time. And somebody got some new kindling And the Cavaliers get no runs on one hit, no errors, one left. And we've played 6. And it's the Cavaliers 1 and the Woodticks nothing on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think one of the things us veterans are hoping for is soon the cabin will be built.
It's going to be amazing to be able to come to a place like this and stay at a cabin with amazing people, animals, a view, and get away from it all.
Country Haven Farms is fundraising to complete our cabin, giving Wisconsin veterans and their families a much-needed escape in the Northwoods. Donations of any amount are encouraged, and sponsorships are available at all levels. To make a donation or sponsorship, please visit our website or give us a call.
We got a new pitcher? Nope.
And Tyson Woodcock is on the mound for the Cavaliers. And that means Cooper Dykes went 6 innings, and he gave up no runs on 3 hits. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 5. So that's a very good outing for Cooper Dykes, and Woodcock looking to pick up his 4th save of the year. And leading off is Connor Hicks. And there's a strike called on the outside corner. Woodcock doesn't mess around. He just gets down to business. That one just missed outside. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Hicks was way behind that one. He just blew it past him. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That just missed inside. Woodcock is coming with the heat. And the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. That's going to bring up Jackson Simmons. He's 0 for 2, struck out and flew out to center field. And the pitch. That just missed a little bit low. And there's a hard hit ground ball out into right field. Past a diving Jackson Vance. And Simmons is on first. That's the 4th hit of the game for the Woodticks. Cole Schwab steps to the plate. Schwab is 0 for 2. Grounded to short and struck out. There's a pop foul out of play.
That ball might be back. Sorry, look at 31.
And the pitch. There's a strike called on the outside third. No balls, 2 strikes to Cole Schwab. 1 down. Runner on first. And the pitch. Ground ball out into right field. That's going to leave Simmons on second, Schwab on first. Tying run is in scoring position. Connor Crane coming to the plate. He's gone 1 for 2.
Yeah, it was kind of the same pitch, same hit.
Very similar, yes.
Down and away, and Bloomer finds a way to get 2 runners on.
Like I said, Crane is 1 for 2. He singled to left and flew out to center. Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. You know, these Bloomer hitters do not like that inside pitch. Maybe that's where Woodcock needs to live. Swinging and a miss. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 on. And there's a ground ball over to first. Windeshausen takes it himself, and the runners advance. So the tying run is on third. 2 down. Go-ahead run is on second. And Patrick Callahan, the leading hitter for the Woodticks, comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 in this game. He's 1 for 5. And he fouls the first pitch back into the backstop. Here's the wind and the pitch. That was inside. Almost got him. One ball, 1 strike. Woodcock goes into his motion. Oh, that was too high. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 2. Woodticks are down to their final strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on.
Yeah, we know what's coming. Fastball. So does the batter. Let's see.
And a foul off on the left side. You know, Dan, I think we're getting these games in just in the nick of time. I'm seeing what looks like some weather coming this way.
I just looked at the radar. There's a storm up by Bloomer, actually.
Oh, and that pitch missed.
Yeah, it's just one little patch going through, but not here. If we were playing up in Bloomer today, we'd probably be getting rain.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 4, he walked him. So the bases are loaded. Drama in the 7th. Coming to the plate is Connor Hicks, who singled to left his last time up. He's also flew out to center field. Knickerbocker out having a talk with Woodcock.
First baseman.
Yeah, if I was Tyson Woodcock, I'd try to do 3 fastballs and just
Middle
make
in.
Bloomer chase it.
Kind of like what he tried to do there. He just missed. 1 ball, no strikes to Connor Hicks. There's a ground ball to Jackson Vance. Throw over to first. They got him, and that'll do it. So for the Woodticks, no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and the bases were left loaded. Final score in this game, Cavaliers 1, Bloomer Woodticks nothing. The winning pitcher will be Cooper Dykes. Losing pitcher will be Cole Schwab, and the save goes to Tyson Woodcock. And we'll be back with more information about this when we get to talking baseball on NLWN-2 or NLWN-TV.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
You've been watching Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV. This copyrighted presentation has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in conjunction with the Eau Claire Cavaliers and is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and the Eau Claire Cavaliers is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're back here at Carson Park. And Cavaliers got the brooms out today and swept the doubleheader with the Bloomer Woodticks. And we're still waiting on Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister to come up and talk with us. He's down talking to Tyson Woodcock right now. And it's been Auto Vision Center Lutheran Social Services Day at the ballpark, and the Cavaliers come away with a couple of wins, winning the first game today in walk-off fashion by a score of 3-2, and in this second game, a nail-biter, a 1-0 win with Tyson Woodcock hanging on to get the save for the win for Cooper Dykes, who Dykes will raise his record to 2-0 now. Dykes went 6 innings, gave up no runs, 3 hits, struck out 5. So a good outing for him. And Woodcock did 1 inning, no runs, 2 hits. It got tense there for a minute because he also had a walk in there, but he did strike out 1, and that's how the game ended. Cavaliers come away with the win. The Bloomer Woodticks record goes to 1-10. That's both overall and league record. Cavaliers go to 12-7 overall, and they are 8-4 in the CRBL. And we are just kind of waiting for Ryan Bemnister to come up here. I'm looking real quick. Cavaliers only had 4 hits in that game. Caden Erickson had 2 of them. So he had a decent game in the second game. He struggled in the first game. But some Cavalier players and some Woodtick players, I think they're just exchanging them for photos to be taken, because I know the Cavs don't have any extras of those, so I'm sure it's just photos getting taken. These guys were all teammates when they were playing for the Eau Claire A's and so on. And so showing a little bit of sportsmanship out there right now. And joining us right now is Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. You make sure those guys get the right jerseys back at the end of the picture taking here.
I will. Yeah.
Oh, now they're gonna put the other jerseys on, and
oh shit.
Well, they're all former teammates, and so and that's what it's all about. And they a heck of a couple ball games today. from a fan's perspective. I think you have a few extra gray hairs.
Yeah, I do. I do have a few extra. I'm glad the fans are having fun.
And speaking of fans, there were a lot of them here today.
Yes, there was. They turned out for the AVC sponsorships, and this was Luther Social Services. Bloomer's a heck of a ball club. I mean,
their record doesn't show it, but they play much better than their record.
Yeah, and they're competitive every game they play. And it's, they're young. They're way younger than they have been in years past. I was talking to Coach about that, and that's their plan, that's their idea. So yeah, it's a heck of a ball club. They kept us down for 6 innings in the first game, and
basically 7 in the second.
Yep. So that's what you get when you're a Cav. You get the best that everybody has.
But you had a couple of outstanding pitching performances again today.
Did we?
You can't say enough about Andrew Milner. He got virtually no run support until that last inning, but he did not allow an earned run in that game.
No, he pitched a heck of a game coming off of that last game that he threw that no-hitter at, and he looked on point today. He was going to give me 7 no matter what. That's what he does. So, and then Cooper came in the second game, and he said he'd give me a solid 4 or 5. He ended up going 6. Turned that ball over to who I think is probably the best closer in the CRBL, and Tyson. Nothing ever bothers that kid. So he went out there and first time he's pitched in probably a week and a half or 2.
He did make it a little exciting, though, giving up 2 straight base hits and then walking a batter.
Those were barely through the infield and over. That's nothing. The walk was, that's something. But hey, you come back against, a kid that hit the ball pretty good all day long for these guys, and to get an out like that's pretty good.
And so, yeah, a heck of a get out the brooms. You got the sweep
finally.
And I know you've been looking for that, and that helps a little. It didn't help that the Eau Claire Bears swept the Lumberjacks today, but that you can't do anything about that.
Doesn't bother
all
me.
You can do is win the games you can win.
We play our games, we win our games, and we'll take care of our own. So that's all we got to keep doing.
And that's exactly what it's all about. Now you get a little bit of a break.
Yeah, a little bit, about a week.
And
full week off, yeah, because we got the All-Star stuff or whatever the heck it is, and some game, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah,
you got Menominee coming on July 1st.
Okay, that's who it is. So July 1st. Okay, yeah. So we'll see. These boys, they've been working hard all summer, and I think it's country something this weekend or next weekend or whatever it is. So let these guys go cut loose and have some fun for a weekend and not have to worry about baseball. I think that'll be good for them. A couple guys were pressing a little bit again today, but it'll be good to have a few days off and relax, and we'll get back to it on the 1st.
Now, you keep talking about baseball IQ, and I've got to hand it to Caden Erickson. His first at-bat there in Game 2, that bunt single, I'm sure I really don't think you called that.
Nope.
That totally was on him.
Yep.
And, talk about a guy who had been struggling a little bit. That's a good way to get out of those struggles, is to make a play like that, and he beat it out, and ended up with a 2-hit game.
Yeah, but it's just a thing where you survey the field and you see what these guys are playing, and you put the ball where they're not, which is not something we did in the entire first game. We kept on hitting it right to them. So it just shows you how smart these guys are, and I don't hardly give any signs. I let these guys kind of run the show themselves. They're smart enough to know what to do and when to do it. And it's working out pretty well for us so far. So we're just going to keep it rolling that way and trust these guys. And they're smart baseball players. They've been playing their entire life. So it doesn't shock me when they do smart things like that.
Well, Ryan, congratulations on the sweep. Your record is now up to, I had it written down here. You're 12-7 overall, 8-4 in the CRBL. Things are looking positive as far as being competitive for that playoff spot in the CRBL. And, keep it going.
We'll do what we can. That's our goals. We set our goals at the beginning of the year, and we had a little rough start to the beginning of the year, but these guys have been played really, really well over the last 3 weeks. So I think they're geared up. They're ready to go. So we're in a good position.
Well, we will get back together just before that game on July 1st, and we'll take on the Menominee Eagles.
Yes.
And we'll have more of Talking Baseball right after this timeout.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Monday, July 1st, as the Cavaliers take on the Menominee Eagles from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 6 p.m., followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Monday, July 1st on NLWN-TV.
And we're back here talking baseball. 2 wins by the Cavs. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought, the Cavs, it's kind of how they've been playing all season, their defense holds them together in the first four innings, and then all of a sudden the bats get hot the 5th and 6th.
And again, that's probably third time through the lineup. They've seen the pitcher enough times, and they can actually do something with them.
Yeah, and they know what to do with it. So that has really been their kind of MO all season, and their pitching is really starting to pick up here.
As has really shown the last 4 games that the Cavaliers played, really solid pitching performances by the Cavs. And so we get a bit of a break here. We don't have Cavs baseball now for just a hair over a week, not till July 1st. So it's 8 days from now, and it'll be back here at Carson Park. In fact, why don't you all join us here Monday, July 1st on NLWN-TV as we bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Menominee Eagles in a non-league game from Carson Park here in Eau Claire. Coverage is going to start at 6 o'clock with the In the Dugout show, followed by live play-by-play action. First pitch scheduled for 6:30. Phoenix football. Hey, we had a heck of a game yesterday. The score didn't sound like it if you just looked at the final score, but it was actually a very competitive, tough football game. Yeah. Well, you get another chance next Saturday on NLWN2 as we bring you Chippewa Valley Phoenix football. The Phoenix will travel to Paul Giel Stadium in Winona, Minnesota to face the River City Rough Riders. The coverage begins with Phoenix rising, and we should say defending national champion River City Rough Riders, who are currently in first place in the Northwest Division of the NLFL. So like I said, coverage begins with Phoenix rising at 2:30 with kickoff scheduled for 3 o'clock. That's Chippewa Valley Phoenix football next Saturday on NLWN2. Don't forget that coming up later this year, the Northern Light Webcasting Network will broadcast our 500th event. Be sure to stay tuned for special announcements and special awards for our loyal viewers. That's all coming up later this broadcast season on Northern Light Webcasting Network. The Eau Claire Cavaliers want to remind veterans of the United States military that they can get a lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games simply by coming to Carson Park with your veterans identification, and the Cavaliers will be really happy to issue you your free lifetime pass. Just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service. Today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game has been brought to you by Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. Your Napa Auto Parts Store, 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. Royal Credit Union, where they're different in a good way. And C&K Construction, concrete experts in the Chippewa Valley. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on NLWN-TV. So for Ann Monroe on the computer, Dan Petchow on the camera, this is Rick Olson. Final scores today. In Game 1, it was the Cavaliers on top in walk-off fashion, 3-2. And then in Game 2, they won a nail-biter, 1-0 over the Bloomer Woodticks. And you've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on NLWN-TV.
You have been tuned to Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game.
I see what you're looking at.
This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I know.